We was just listening to the soulful sound. That shit was heavy. Koffe Black in the building, Cigarettes and Bad Decisions, sitting in a studio session with JD's Revenge.
JD's Revenge, baby.
What's happening?
Y'all are dope. Like, y'all are dope.
Hey, thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
A black Chicago rock band, which is crazy and very original, just because of the fact that there are really, on record, not too many black rock bands. Why don't y'all introduce yourselves to the people?
I'm Frankie Blaze. I play guitar.
My name is Trinika Lene. I sing lead.
Kamiko Allegra, alto, BKZ.
Now, right now, we represent one half of JDI. You know, we got Said Pass the Funk Please on the bass.
Darren Diesel Nicholson on the drums.
Hey.
And Asia Robertson on, Dolores on the soprano.
You know, Asia and Kamiko are sisters, and together they are Allegra Dolores.
Joy and pain, sunshine and rain.
Hey.
How'd y'all get together? Like, how'd y'all all meet?
Man, Frankie.
Like, Frankie, because you're the composer, right? Like, did you bring this all together?
Well, basically. But it started out me and my buddy Jason, who was the original bass player. We started JD's Revenge, and Trinika came into the fold in 2010, right? 2009? Wait.
Ooh.
No, it was 2011.
2011. It was
2011.
It was like November.
Right. So
it was a cold winter that year.
It was a cold winter that year.
That was a
I remember that winter.
It was the night
It was a
before.
hailstorm. People's cars was jacked up.
That was the winter, right, when everybody was stuck on the damn rain?
Yes,
like
in the
everybody
bus.
had to leave their cars?
On the bus.
Is it?
That was
Shut up. It was meant to be.
It was softball hail.
Yeah, it was great.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna die out there.
So y'all came together in the winter.
Yeah, we did. It was a cold winter.
The cold brought y'all together. This warmth that the world gets to hear now from y'all.
Yeah, actually it formed in this building, just not on this side or on the other side. But we started like composing material for the album, and during that process, Jason left the band. And for a minute it was like, well, what am I gonna do? So I gave Trinika a call, like, hey, so, you still wanna do this?
And I was like, I don't know. What are you gonna do? I was like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, and then
we've been doing it I think it was like right after that, Room 11, who is headed by Said Pass the Funk Please, the one holding the bass down, said, and Frankie is in Room 11, but I think you guys had a show. And Ed Perkins from Black Dot Radio asked us if we wanted to be a part of the Black Dot Music Festival. And it was funny because we ain't even.
Right,
it was just us. Like, what you want us to do?
Our bass player quit. And he was like, well.
And that was Jason?
Yeah.
Why did he leave?
Well, he had school. He's got a master's degree now, and he got real busy with that, and it kind of took him into that direction.
Right, like music wasn't really like his, like it was his thing, but it was just like a side thing for him. It wasn't really.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much it was like that. Once that jumped off, he was like, all right, I got to do this. I really don't have time to do music now. So,
did you feel betrayed?
No, not at all. That's my dude. That's my dude. He was like, man. Because basically he was like, man, keep it going, man. Just keep it going. I was like, all right, man. All right, Jay. All right. I understand. All right, cool. So, that's what I did. And
it was good to have his blessing.
Yeah.
But we just, it was so like, it was like a freak accident. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? What are we going to do? But everything worked out. Having his blessing made a difference, though, for sure.
So, the first session y'all had, the first actual session y'all had, how difficult was it to come together?
Well, I brought in Allegra Dolores. I already had them in mind anyway, so it was a given.
So
that
you
they
are
were gonna
right.
be in the band. So like, yeah, we got Kamiko in Asia. So
Do you remember how we what did we
Yes.
do? Okay, oh
The
please, come on.
first time, so
Is this thing on?
yeah.
Okay. All right, come on.
Frankie
Let's go.
Frankie
I
called
don't
me
know.
in Asia and was like, "Hey, I got this thing." And he had been talking about, because me and Asia were in room 11, and he had been talking about Trinica. So we heard the name, we didn't know, what was up, but we were in room 11 with Frankie and Sid. So he's like, "Man, we got this other thing, JD's Revenge. I want Allegra Dolores to be a part of it." And me and my sister, like, if we know Frankie is gonna be a part of something that he asked us to be a part of, you can't say no to that situation. So we was like, yeah. So it came down to Trinica coming over and us working out the vocals. And as soon as Trinica walked in the door, she said, "I'm home. This is like home." And it's been a ride ever since. To be honest, it's been a ride ever since. She's made us better singers.
So this
Thank you.
version of JD's Revenge has been together since 2011.
I'd say, well, with Diesel.
It wasn't JD's Revenge
Until
until Diesel
Diesel
got
came
in.
along.
Diesel
Wait.
was the last piece.
I feel really bad by asking who were the drummers before Diesel.
Oh,
I feel real bad.
Do this on the.
Hey.
You did not
What?
controversy.
I know we're good drummers though.
Now, and I mean, because I personally don't remember.
We actually
For various
we've had
reasons.
like
Like, how many members has it been in JD's Revenge?
Not
already?
many. We don't have a large turnover.
No, but just
Thank
because
God. Thank
there's
you,
a lot
Lord.
of bands that
Thank you,
have,
Lord.
they'll, over the years, they'll replace drummers, replace bassists, replace vocals.
we had like 4 drummers before Diesel. It started off like at the very
because Diesel's dope.
Damn, it was fun.
Yeah,
Diesel's
I mean,
really
at
dope.
the very, very beginning, it was my buddy Danye, and then
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
then it was Mark. Then
Mark
it was
Martinelli.
right. Then it was Danny Percussive.
Okay.
Danny Percussive.
Then Sydney Buckner came in for the Schubert Show,
Yeah.
Okay, that was 4. That's 4.
and Eric Johnson.
He was kind of standing though. I don't know. I don't know.
No, Eric Johnson.
Sound like you had a problem with it.
No. Eric Johnson is the. No, listen.
No,
He's
Eric
the,
Johnson.
he is the
he's-
most
he's
respected.
Though.
It's great.
I will
Yeah,
put
that's-
Diesel up against any drummer in the city. I'll put.
He's
Listen,
really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
extremely
He
good.
is so JDI.
He
as
is.
well,
And that's
like,
why.
Diesel
but
is
Eric is
sick.
like
That's basically
that's
how you
like
describe Diesel.
respect.
He's
Right.
sick
He
in a great way.
Yes, very much so.
He's so inventive with his drumming, and he's a multi-instrumentalist too. He has this thing, Max Mode Music, and he plays keys, he plays bass. He's learning guitar now too. So yeah,
He's sick with it.
he's sick with it.
Dope. How'd you come up with JD's Revenge? Actual-
JD's Revenge came from the blaxploitation flick. JD's Revenge.
You don't get much black in that.
See,
You
it
got,
was like-
you got a black rock band with a black name from Black Exploitation.
Brought to you by Warner Brothers.
Right. Brought to you by white folk.
Warner Brothers produced that shit. Wow.
It was actually a good movie though.
It was. It was a good movie.
It was good.
It was a
It was a good
wonderful movie.
movie. But
I don't want to do no post right now because I just started to.
I feel like, my black card might be revoked because I never seen it.
Well, you know what? Shut this shit down. Shut
And there's so many black movies to see.
It is.
There's just a whole bunch of black movies.
There's a whole bunch of. Well, like, what was JD's Revenge? But like, how?
Oh, both of you. Black card, turn them over.
No, I'm just saying, does the movie
okay.
work its way into the?
Come on, Frank.
Actually,
How does it correlate with the band?
Actually, it did. I mean, when because Jason came up with the name JD's Revenge, he got it from the movie, and we watched the movie, and we kind of built like the premise of it originally from the movie. Like that's where we got the song "The Killing Floor" from, because he says in the line of the movie, "Meet me on the killing floor." And if you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But it was just basically about this cat from the 30s or something. He got murdered, and through hypnosis, like in the 70s, his spirit came inside this guy that was played by Glenn Thurman, and he started changing into him. But he was around the people that had killed him. By this time, Louis Gossett Jr. He was the preacher, and his brother, I forgot who played him, but
it's supposed to be like 10 years later.
Yeah. It was in the 70s, so he came back to get his revenge, basically, through this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And and to piggyback on that, where we fit in with that, like, there are 6 of us, and we all got, pretty intense stories, you know what I'm saying? And we all, like, one of the things we're all, like, quirky in our own ways, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're a band of weirdos in the best motherfucking way. And even though I know I'm working with some of the most talented people to come out this area, but I would honestly say, I know in my life I've been the underdog many times, and JD's Revenge takes on another meaning. Like, we're back for revenge. Meet us on the killing floor.
Like, being a all-black rock band coming out of Chicago, where movies like the Blues Brothers, and where rock started out in Cincinnati and in Cleveland. Like, when y'all tell people y'all are part of a rock band, and it's a black rock band, what is the perception that y'all get from our culture, the black culture, y'all families, and then when y'all step in a spot and it's predominantly white, nobody knows what y'all getting ready to do, and then all of a sudden y'all get to doing what y'all do? Is it what I'm asking is, do you see the shock value, like when y'all get on stage and y'all see the crowd that's predominantly white, and then y'all start singing, or are y'all already like in the zone, and then afterwards it's like, wow?
I would like
really
to touch on when people ask me what bands that I'm a part of, and they're non-black folk, right?
Yes.
POC or white, whichever one you want. And but the people of color who ain't who get into rock. Like, I know a lot of Latino people that like really listen to Wilco. So you know what I'm saying. So the description that I give is what Frankie gave me. It's like Diana Ross and the Supremes meets Alice in Chains. And that shock value right there is peaks of interest every time. I'm not bullshitting. Every single time people are like,
Ray B's for that.
So
shout out to Ray B's.
Yeah,
Ray B.
So wait a minute.
But that's shock value. People
So you
are
tell them.
immediately
So when you describe exactly that, you say Diana
Ross and the Supremes meets Alice in Chains, and everybody
so
is
all
like,
of a sudden they're like, oh, okay.
Really, I'm interested.
When's your next show? I would love to come. Oh my God, JD's Revenge?
So
it's a movie? Oh.
But when you're on stage, you come out on stage. Like the first time I saw you guys in that club in the city downtown. Yes, the Multiculti downtown.
Shout out to John Navarro.
It's a diverse crowd, a lot of hipsters, Asian, Indian, white, black, but predominantly white. And it's hip hop acts, rock acts, and then y'all get up JD's Revenge, and then y'all start playing, start singing. I remember the feeling I got that night being in the crowd, and I was talking to Rod, who introduced me to you guys, in the crowd that night, and I turn around and I look while y'all are performing, and I look back, and even though the spot wasn't that big, all the way back to the hallway. I think I was telling you, Frankie, the last time we talked, when y'all performed last week, like the back by the door, it was people on shoulders, like smashed together, and their faces were bewildered at what was happening. Like it was an electric. like a lot of times in sports or
That was at Cole's.
that is a saying that is so
that was Cole's that Ray B's threw that party. Who I just said Diana Ross and the Supremes and Alice in Chains. That was her party. She throws an amazing event.
It
Shout out to Ray
was
B's
so electrifying, and I hate you don't want that. They always say it was the most electrifying thing, but
Black and Brown Babe. Shout out.
That out of all that, and there were a lot of great acts that night, but you could really see it on everybody's face that night that they were like,
that was a good show.
That was a great show.
It was. That was a cool
Yeah,
show.
it was to go behind y'all after that. Like even the host, when he got up there, his first words was, "What the fuck was that we just listened to?" Like that shit was incredible. How do you go up behind that? So what I'm asking is like when y'all on stage, do y'all feel the energy, like from the crowd? That
we do.
Is it an intimate experience? Like that is damn near as invigorating as sex. I would like to imagine, and this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Just on the fact that, when listen to me.
Listen to me now.
Can I get another hit?
No,
please, because that was cool.
Can somebody pour up? No,
somebody please.
Drink champ.
Hey, got it ready. Look at that.
Hey. And here's what I mean is, because what's happening, and maybe you guys don't notice it, but you've got 300 people, and it's you guys on stage, and you guys are all individually attaching yourselves to all those individuals, even though it's a group. They're all experiencing, like they were in a trance that night.
Hey.
Like Frankie, you was killing it. Shanique, you was killing it.
Kamiko.
That's me.
And you know what? We were short-handed that night.
Yeah,
I don't think nobody knew that.
And listen.
They couldn't tell because the energy was so high. We were short-handed.
But you couldn't tell.
Dolores was not there that night. You couldn't even tell.
It was.
Pastor Funk Police wasn't there.
It was crazy.
Pastor Funk Police wasn't there. We had a good friend standing there. What's my brother's name?
I use an instant group.
Book.
Like, I'm not gonna bullshit. I was immediately Instagram. I immediately looked at Rod and I said, when y'all got off stage, and then they had a little intermission or whatever. Mm-hmm. I turned to him. I was like, "What the fuck?
What
did I just experience?"
It
was like 2 months straight, and I kept on saying, I was like, "I have to get in a room with them."
Hey.
Because the first thing I said was, when are they performing again? Just for the simple fact that I said, do they do that every single time they perform? Because that night, like, what is the best performance you guys individually remember as a group?
I'll say this before we speak on that, because you can't know the sunshine until you see the dark. We played crowds, and it was literally the only people there was the people who came with us.
Yep.
But they loved it too, though.
And you would think it was a full crowd.
What's the worst show
that's
you
the
guys ever
rule.
did?
You have to play like you play in the Super Bowl every time.
Every time.
Whether it's just a rehearsal or it's just us, nobody showed up to the show. Maybe nobody even fucking knew, or maybe it's a packed house. You gotta play it the same.
What's the worst show you ever did?
Ooh.
It's always one. I can definitely tell y'all the worst stand-up I ever did.
No.
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm just being for real. As an artist, you always know.
The last time?
As they deliberate.
You know what? And I hate this. Oh, we ain't gonna say the name of the club.
Say it.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Please say it.
No, because fuck
I can
that.
put them in
We
one of
still
mine.
rhyming. You gotta be
I'll talk
smart.
about it. Don't worry about it.
Be smart.
No, don't worry about it. Talk about it.
And Frankie, I'm gonna leave it up to you.
No, that's irresponsible. Just
No, I'm out of it. I'm out.
I mean, but it was.
What was
because there
this
was a lot of
particular
timing
club?
was fucked up.
Go ahead, Frank.
It was this particular club. I'm gonna leave it at that. But it was it was interesting. Well, it started off. One of our members couldn't do the show, so we had somebody come and fill in. And they were late, and they were trying to find parking while we were like 2 songs into the show without bass player. So it was like, we're gonna keep going.
I'm sorry.
And I mean, we still playing. And
in hindsight, I wish we would have just played without him.
well, I mean,
Like fucking, we did more than that with less. Fuck him.
well, anywho,
Wow.
Just in case you hear that. Okay, since we want to talk about it, now we gonna fucking talk about it.
It's revelations being spoken.
Okay. That's what you wanted, Coffee. Stop playing. Come on, go ahead, Frankie. You want to ask the hard questions and shit. I like that. I like that though.
I want to do.
I'm with that. Okay, I'm sorry.
but I mean, it just the crowd still gave us love, but it was like half our time was cut off.
Yeah.
More than half.
Yeah, we played for like what, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Man.
we didn't get off.
Yeah, that was probably the worst show.
We had to at least get some.
We gotta get off.
We gotta get some. We didn't even get to warm up. Like,
Nah, it was terrible.
It's like, womp womp.
Okay.
It rained
That's
that
what's
night
up.
too. It rained.
So look, we'll take a quick break. You know what I'm saying? Retool, fill y'all cups up.
Hey.
Let y'all have a smoke. Discuss y'all bad decisions.
And the good ones, fuck you, okay? There's some good ones in there.
And we'll come back on the other side. Yo, Frankie, you want to take us away with a little riff?
Sure.
The baddest man on the planet right
Hey,
now.
you wanna?
The baddest man on the planet right now.
Down in my gut, got a sneaking suspicion. Something about the character is missing. You don't have to think about it. Marinate around it. Yeah. Somebody's going always follow your first mind. Listen close to the devil right outside. He's knocking on your door. Don't let him in no more. I'm not gonna take the time to tell you what I'm thinking. I've seen the scene running, repeated. I wish I could press rewind and get the first time. Oh, yeah. Something's on. Hey, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Talk about how he gon' make it right. Love and happiness. Oh, love and happiness. Love and happiness.
Man, that was
Frankie, you know
sexy.
you be playing that
That was
guitar.
dope.
JD's Revenge, y'all. JD's Revenge.
That
Oh
is your
my
man,
God.
Daddy.
Wow, what a session tonight.
You was crazy.
Yo, we back on the other side. Cigarettes and bad decisions. Koffe
Oh.
Black, JD's Revenge in the building.
Yes.
Hey,
Shanika, the lead singer. Frankie,
composer,
we back.
CEO.
Frankie, Mr. Do It All.
Good talk.
The Dundada. Do.
No. I could do it.
Da-da. Do. Da-da.
Back.
So,
I'm sorry, I had to.
what were some of your influence? Like, did you know? I addressed Frankie first. When did you start playing? What was the guitar your first instrument?
Actually, the bass was my first instrument.
Hmm.
I started playing. I got a bass in my hand first, but I had a acoustic guitar since I was like 5 years old, and I don't know. It was like at the time I wanted a synthesizer, but my mom bought me an acoustic. But I mean, I'm grateful that she did.
Made it work, huh?
I did, and then I was still a kid, and I saw Purple Rain for the first time, and I'm like, Mom, I want electric. And she was like, "Are you serious about playing?" I'm like, "Yeah."
So was it Prince? Who inspired you to like? What
Well,
inspired you to do
Prince
music?
inspired me at that time. Prince inspired me to stand in the mirror, act like I was him. But then my uncle came in one time when I was in my room and busted in and was like, "What you doing?" Like, just.
You ain't had no wigs on or nothing, did you?
Nah.
Never to call you.
But he was like, "Well, if you like Prince," he gave me this album, Band of Gypsies, with Jimi Hendrix, and I heard him for the first time, and that was when it snapped. It was like, I gotta get serious. I want to play, and ever since then, it was like, later on down the line, Prince inspired me to like play more than one instrument, because I play bass, I play keys.
Right.
And um, and to do like music myself, like if you want to get a song done, just go in the studio, record all the parts, mix it, and that's how
Get it done.
yeah. And then further down the line, I actually started working with Crucial Conflict.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I started when they were working on their second album, Good Side, Bad Side. That's when I got in the fold, and I played guitar on one of their songs, "Swing It Over Here." And then,
Holy shit! Are you serious?
yeah.
If y'all don't know who Crucial Conflict is, that is,
It's legendary
legendary
Chicago rap group.
legendary.
Hey, in the middle of the barn.
Sir, shout out to Crucial.
Get in my little red.
And Wild Style, who's like the brainchild of the group. He does all the beats and produces, and. So, I started working with him, and it started out with me just doing guitar stuff. I played on Busta Rhymes song, did on a remix with Tony Braxton. So I started letting him hear some stuff that I did. I was doing hip hop at the time too, so he brought me into the fold as a producer, and then I started producing. I co-produced their last CD, Planet Coupon. Yeah, got 3.5 mics in the source.
Hey.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy.
Play guitar and bass. And I had been doing that, and then, I had been like, I'm like a studio musician, and I play for, I'm like a musician for hire. I play for different people, so I was doing that a lot at the time, and, it was like I wanted to do my own thing. And when Jason came to me about, doing JDR, it was like, oh, okay. Because
There's my own thing.
right. I mean, because I had always played rock, but it was like I was doing a lot of R&B and hip hop. That's what I was doing at that point. Neo Soul, I was playing. I actually played for Lettucey when she came to Chicago at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, and I was doing stuff like that. But it was like I wanted to do my own thing, and it just. I'm just glad it came together. I'm surprised at like the love that we've gotten, from it, because it was like I don't know, it really came from a deep place with both of us, So
Sure.
it's like, I mean,
It's not what you guys are doing. Still is, to me, kind of unprecedented, especially in the time that we're in now. Just because of the simple fact that being black and playing rock.
Because I know, like, as a guy that do music, from the arrangements to the vocals to the arrangements of the sounds of the instruments, y'all. I done heard a lot of bands. Y'all got your own sound. Y'all don't fall in no genre of rock. So when I first heard y'all, it was more so y'all paving y'all own way. Because nobody can compare JD's to Revenge to no other rock group.
It's very hard to.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
And that voice y'all are hearing on is Rod Washington. Yo, what's up, people? Hey, what's going on? Half of part 2, who is also an artist. Joining the session on
That's
the
what's
side.
up. That's what's up. But when I first heard JD's Revenge, I'm not gonna lie, I was an instant groupie. And it's not because they got 3 very beautiful, sexy ladies singing. Well,
very.
It is easy on the eyes.
It's easy. That helps.
Very easy on the eyes. It helps.
I'm a groupie for harmony and strong vocals, and it's like, you got, it's like 6 Chris Browns just fused into one. You got the dopest drummer I've ever heard. Then you got the guy over here just destroying the guitar. It's just like you don't really know. And then they put it together, and you so in awe, because I brought Koffe Black to one of the shows.
Koffe Black.
Because I know he's just a fan of music in general. I didn't know how he was gonna perceive this band, but when he saw these people, when he saw them perform, he looked at it. I thought he was about to cry. I'm like, you okay, bro?
Don't cry, please.
We get to work.
Let it out, though. Let it out.
The next day.
Damn, it did.
He telling everybody at the job, hey, showing them videos, because he had a little video he was recording his phone. He's showing everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, he's showing them YouTube videos, and I'm like, man, he's but they got that, they bring that out of people, immediately.
I mean that, and it's not like, I'm hyping up something that is unforeseen. Like this is.
I'm a realist. Some shit whack. So
it really is, and I would have sat back and I'd just been like, oh, okay, that shit was straight, but it wasn't. For instance, the greatest performance I've ever seen was Dave Matthews Band. Weekend on the Rocks, which was probably about like 8-9 years ago, and they performed Louisiana Bayou with Robert Randolph, and it was probably literally, and I mean the greatest performance I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it was so. When I watched it, that's when I realized the power of music. And never in my life did I realize the power of music. Like I watched the crowd and how they had literally warped their minds. They had taken them. It was an out-of-body experience. The crowd was hypnotized to them in their performance. And it was white, black, Asian,
everybody,
Indian, Mexican. And they all were vibing together. And that's one thing about music. That's one thing about sports. Music crosses the color barrier. It crosses the color lines. And to be a musician and to have that power and not know it is one thing. But then when you know it, that we getting ready to come in here, we're gonna bring people together. That shit is crazy.
When you can't deny
it. Right. And then when you do it, to actually, like, it's one thing like, musicians have that power. And then you get up there and you realize it's almost like you're an Avenger and you don't even know it, and then you be like, oh shit, the fuck did I just pick this motherfucker up? Like, you know what I'm saying? And again, you guys got that. Like, if I had to do like a top 10 artists to see in Chicago, now I can't name another 9, but I can name one. And it's JD's event. And I'm not just saying that shit. I'm saying that shit because I'm here, but also I would say that, like, if I knew you guys were performing on a Saturday night, like, yo, what's going on tonight? What's cracking? What's the move? And yo, JD's Revenge is performing at such. Let's go get it.
Can't speak to that. First of all, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Fuck. I cuss on here, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. It's my favorite curse word. Anyway, thank you for that. I mean, honestly, we had a concept for the band, but really, when we started the creative process, we really just decided to make the kind of music come organic to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all like we didn't even spend no time working on any like what you would call maybe like B-side tracks.
Right.
Like everything was every single joint we made.
It was all
like,
hits.
It was intense though. Like every song was great and like honestly, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to God I met Frankie because I've been singing since I was 5. I mean, to speak to the influence thing.
Yes, please.
When I was 5, we moved to Southern Illinois from Milwaukee, right? We moved to Southern Illinois to Murfreesboro, Illinois, country, right? Straight up country. Okay. So that we already had my mom's family is from there, so we already had like a home base there. My grandmother lived there and whatnot. We already had a family church to go to. That's one of my biggest influences, church. We grew up in a Pentecostal apostolic church. Like Bible way, like do it right or sit down. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway, so I grew up in a church, but when we got there, I was 5. And I remember my mom telling me my grandmother would play a lot of Louis Armstrong.
Right. Classic.
That may have been her favorite. That's one question I wish I would have thought to ask her. But she would play that a lot, and we were with my grandmother a lot at that time, so I would start singing along. And my mother, who is also a singer, and a lot of people in my family sing, we kind of have a musical family. My mom said I don't know, she caught me singing along, and she was like, I guess she was happy because that was her thing. That one of her kids is singing too, so that was instantly like,
right.
We bonded over that. She taught me to sing. That year I was actually in a Tom Thumb wedding, which is actually, when I kind of think about it, it's kind of weird. Like, if you know what Tom Thumb events are, has anybody ever heard of that?
I've never heard of that, actually.
Anybody?
I haven't heard of it.
You ever seen something maybe online where kids play out a whole scenario? In this particular instance, it was a wedding where kids just played out. I mean, it was a bride, a groom, it was a minister, everybody was kids. It's like funny to the adults for some motherfucking reason. But in my town, they were doing that basically like among like the black families. Like it was something they was doing. I was chosen or asked to be the wedding singer for that, and I sang "You Are So Beautiful." You are so beautiful. You heard that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
To me, can't you see?
That's what I was.
Yeah. I gotta finish that. Yeah, everything that I hope for you, everything I need. You are so beautiful to me. You know what I'm saying? My mom taught me to sing that for the time.
Yeah, all day. All day.
And I've been singing ever since. She taught me how to sing. I grew up in church. My mom was actually like a home health care type of person. Like, I don't even know what they call that. So some type of social work. But she actually had, I think it started off as a client, but it was a lady named Vera Turner. I don't know what her job title was. I was young. Don't laugh at me. Okay? I just want the listeners to know he's laughing at me off the mic. No, but she was like a home health care, you know what that is. Anyway, but Vera could sing like an angel. She sang soprano, extremely high, extremely strong voice. And as a child, it was different for me to see her perform because she was actually, I think, she had cerebral palsy. And she was in a wheelchair. And her and my mom would sing together. My mom's voice, Vera's voice was the complete opposite of my mom's. And they taught me how to sing. So Vera's voice was really high, she did a lot of runs. She all over the place. But my mom was the complete opposite, like Amazing Grace, you know. And those ladies taught me to sing, and from there I did choirs, school choir. I always sang. But after I moved to Chicago, I didn't really know anybody, so it was hard for me to sing. So I didn't really do much singing for the first I'll say that the first 4 years I was here. So once I got the opportunity to sing again, they were all professional opportunities, and I knew long ago.
Very dope.
My mom knew. She told me to sing. I got fired. I was working at a nail shop as a receptionist. I was late every motherfucking day.
That's probably why you got fired.
Listen, I'm sure somebody out there who understand. I hated this shit so much. I couldn't even pull myself out of bed in the morning. I was wilting. And one day they got sick of that shit, and it was like, you know what, thank you for coming in, but your ass is fired.
Well, you're in a good profession now, but just because of the fact that, once y'all take off, motherfuckers that paid $40, $50 to come watch a rock band, they're not going any goddamn way.
No.
And every fucking concert I've been to, I've always waited on the headliner. And those sons of bitches make you wait 2 hours. You know the fucking shit you can do in 2 hours? I can drive halfway to Detroit in 2 hours. I can drive to Indianapolis from Gary, Indiana in 2 hours. Yeah. You can have a bona fide, hellified, intense fuck session in 2 hours. Okay, I can be high as shit and come down in 2 hours.
Now you sober. Pass the weed.
You know what I'm saying?
Can I get another bump?
You know what I'm saying? You know how many bumps I can do in 2 hours? I'm just saying, because we is rock and shit. The only thing this room is missing is cocaine. And I ain't confirm or deny that shit is in here right now.
Bump the weed.
Because this shit looks, it has all the ramifications of a rock band that had cocaine. That couch itself looked like it's gone through 4 generations of sex.
Cocaine users?
And cocaine users.
No, don't do that here.
Hey, you know what's funny though?
I'm scared of that.
We all rock band and we are a band of crazy motherfuckers, but actually none of us, we're
no drug abuse in the group.
No. We smoke hella weed.
No, well,
you have dibbled and dabbled a little bit.
That is one member that doesn't smoke, doesn't drink.
Yeah, that's one member that doesn't smoke.
Everybody
doesn't
has.
I'm just gonna say college was a good time. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
But not people would expect something like that from us, but actually we honestly take all this shit a lot more seriously than that.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we not no little ass kids. It ain't time to start doing cocaine. Come on, y'all.
Not the booger sugar?
Your ass goofy.
Not the white.
Not that white sugar.
Not that white one. Right.
What they call it? Booger sugar.
Yes, the booger sugar. The booger sugar. No booger sugar happening in the group.
Hey, can I just say one thing? When I got fired from that job, I called my mom in the car Mom, I just got fired. I'm out here.
Right.
And she was like, "That's what you get."
Damn.
She was like, "Because you should have never wasted. Basically, you should never waste your time trying to do that. You should be singing.
You should have been doing what you were supposed to do.
You should have been singing." She was like, "Sing."
Avoiding the.
I was like, "Mom, what I'm gonna do?" She said, "Sing."
That's a blessing to have a mind like that. Because my family was the complete opposite.
Oh, damn.
They hated the fact that I did music. They hated the fact that I was too good to be true. It's beyond, and all that. So when you got that encouragement, people go far with that.
All right. So
real quick, support is actually hard to find. Honestly, whatever you're doing, if anybody get behind you, you gotta be great.
Let's have some fun real quick.
What's up, Coffee?
We gonna do some rapid fire questions.
Damn.
I've never done this before in an interview, so I figure I'd try to do it right now with a band. Okay. As you beatbox. Age. Hey.
Go and ask them questions.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this while you ask the question.
You gonna do it? At what point you
trying to get me lit, Liddy? Hey, listen.
Y'all tearing that bottle up.
Yes, they are. This one's to Frankie. Okay, we gonna do this. Fireside questions. Just rapid, random shit. Favorite rock group?
24/7 Spies.
Ooh, that's a good
That's
one.
a good one. That's a good one.
Favorite rap group?
NWA.
That's deep. Not crucial conflict.
Yeah.
Let me shut up.
Sex in the bedroom or in the car?
Ooh.
I done had both, so.
Ooh.
On the tour bus.
Frankie.
One was the favorite.
What's your favorite?
In the bed.
That's an easy one for
Agreed.
me. In the bedroom.
In the
I need
bed.
to flip,
Yeah.
flang, hang
I
from
mean,
chandelier.
you know.
Oh, goddamn it. Hold on. Everybody gonna get their turn.
Car
The
is fun,
swinging
though.
days is over.
That's
I'm
some
married
time,
now,
though.
so,
Okay.
Yeah.
Beer or liquor?
Happily married.
Hey,
now.
Beer or
shout
hard
out
alcohol?
Tam.
Hey, back.
Hey.
Beer or hard alcohol?
Beer or hard alcohol? Hard alcohol. Jack.
Hey.
Straight.
I'll take some Casamigos.
Love or hate?
Love. All day.
Dope.
After the show.
All right, Trinika. Here we go. You ready? You ready? Black or brown?
Black.
No hesitation with that
He was black. Black, nigga. I'm sorry. If you're not black, you're not allowed to use that. Okay, that's ours now. Now what? Fight me for it. Go ahead.
Wow.
Tina Turner, Diana Ross.
Tina.
And she's still beatboxing while I'm asking these questions. Sex, bedroom or car?
Bedroom.
Why?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You can't give it out.
Freedom, liberty. Like, it's like, you know,
so.
wait, no, hold on now, follow the, you already know this
Okay,
one, you already blowing.
Why?
Okay,
She's a little high.
the bedroom, because you can do whatever you want to. You can pretend you in a car. Okay, hello. Don't say me that. But in a car, but it's like White Castles. You know what I'm saying? That's some special occasion. Just occasion, you get in the car. Okay, baby. You know? That ain't no every time stuff. That's some, we gotta do it right now.
Yeah, cars.
But if you gotta do it right now, every day, then it's not gonna be
You
exciting.
gotta do it like when?
Right now.
Right.
Right now, baby.
We didn't have them situations.
The 70s or the 80s?
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah,
You went too fucking far.
I did not.
Fuck you. You went too far.
Thank
You
you
hit
for
below
that.
the belt.
70s or 80s?
I'm gonna say the 80s.
The 80s?
80s, because I was born in 84. You know? And that's the year of the Purple Rain, baby. Come on. Purple Rain. Purple
Okay,
rain.
since you said that, Prince or Michael?
Prince.
What?
One more question.
You know what? I love Michael,
Right.
but Prince influenced me more as far as the kind of person I became.
Right.
And now Michael, it's a lot of memories attached to that. I got great memories with Michael, but Prince is the one I watched when it wasn't just on TV, when it was my choice.
Okay. One more.
That's a good one.
You ready? Sex, drugs, or rock and roll?
Ooh.
Can't have all three.
What that damn?
You can't have all three. You gotta choose.
You
You
that.
gotta have one. If you had to walk out of this room, and there was a man in a black
Rock and roll,
suit.
baby.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll,
All
baby.
day.
Frank, you sex, drugs, or rock
You know,
and roll?
because sometimes when you walk off the stage, you feel like you had sex.
For real.
It takes me hours to come down sometimes.
And it's a high. It's a natural high.
It's so high. I mean, sometimes I can't sleep that night because I'm gone. I'm still gone.
How long does it take before you do come down? Like when you get on stage, you rock out. You have the nervousness before you get on stage. You have that intimate experience that you have with the crowd, no matter if it's 10,000, 5,000, or 300 or 50. how long does it really take for you to like realize what just happened?
It'd be at least a day for me.
Right. But at the same time, it's like when you come down. I mean, it's like when you come off that stage. For me, it's like I feel drained. Like I just gave my life.
Yeah.
Well, I think you should. But and the only reason why I say that
is like I have to come up 24 hours.
Right. No, because you know if you don't feel that way, then you know
you didn't leave it all out.
You didn't leave it all out there. Like just recently, I remember LeBron James saying that, like, if I'm not drained, I'm drained. And they just had one game, and he was saying, I'm drained, but that's how I know.
Gave it all you got.
I can't be upset about anything that happened, good or bad, right or wrong, on the court because I left it all out there. And
like
when you're great, and when you're
out, yo.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Trinika. The first time ever you heard your song on wax, what did it do to you?
That's what we on.
Yes, that's a good question.
No. Okay, the first time I heard like one of our songs come together, what was our first song? Was it
Killing Floor?
It was the Killing Floor. We recorded at his house, and I think that first time really hearing something we did come together, I was hollering personally, like I was jumping around. I was hollering. I mean, I lost my mind just because I've been singing covers my whole life.
How many albums have you guys had?
This is our first.
We just working on the second album.
We're working on the second.
Y'all working on the second album?
The first album done carried us a long way.
That was a dope ass album.
It's crazy album.
A long way.
Where can
We've
people
been working
find the
that
album?
number.
Is the album like is?
Where can we pick the album?
Yeah, where can people go pick the album up?
Amazon, iTunes.
What's the name of the album?
JD's Revenge, Volume 1.0.
Okay.
There it is.
What is the future of the band? Like, where are you guys? Do you see? Is this forever?
Yeah, I see it as. I mean,
will it evolve into something else?
Oh,
Is this where you guys are gonna be at for a period of time?
Well, the music is gonna always grow. That's one thing. But as far as like, I want to take this to stadiums. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to do Super Bowl.
I want to do world tours. That's
world
what I want.
tours.
Right.
Y'all definitely on the right track.
Well, exactly. You guys are definitely on the right track. Like, again, as we wrap, this up, you guys are incredible.
Thank you.
And if I could say anything as a fan, and it seems maybe, however they want to say it, because I'm the interviewer and I'm interviewing you guys. And,
hey, do your thing.
But you guys are great.
Thank you.
I think if the people research you guys and research the album, they're going to love y'all. If you're in Chicago, visiting Chicago, or if you're in Chicago and you hear or you see anything with JD's Revenge performing, I guarantee you, I implore you to go check them out. It's going to change your life. It's an intimate experience. You're going to have the best sex in your life after you. Now, I didn't have sex that night after I seen y'all motherfuckers. But if I did,
okay.
Man, she
would have got the business.
Man, listen to me.
You would have been the Mandingo warrior.
Out of the man, hell, brother. Yo, no, that's it. We're gonna go ahead and rap. My man Frankie done put the guitar down.
He's a rap, baby.
So
thank y'all for tuning in.
That's it. Like, yo, that's it. That's all.
Can't wait to meet you.
Where can they find y'all on social media?
Right.
Our main hub is probably Facebook.
Facebook.com/JD's Revenge Band.
Yep. Right. No Twitter, no Instagram.
You got Instagram?
Yeah, we got Instagram.
Give me your Instagram though.
It's underscore JD's Revenge underscore.
Okay.
Keep it simple. That's smooth.
That's simple as hell.
Cause hey,
JD's Revenge underscore.
In the quiet thing.
Hey, you gotta keep it simple.
Underscore JD's Revenge underscore. If you don't know what that is, it's not a hyphen.
It's the lower one.
If you don't know what a hyphen is,
it's the line on the
it's
ground.
a dash.
And I just want to add this one thing. We're actually wrapping up shooting our first music video for
please plug the video,
our
Frankie.
song Gravity. And it's being done by Sharpshooter Visions. Shout out to yeah.
When can we expect that?
Wait a minute, shout out to who?
Shout out to Tone Capone.
Boom.
Oh, no shit. Tone Capone?
Tone Capone, Sharpshooter Visions.
Okay.
Right.
Alright, and that's it. That's it. That's all. We rapping.
Hey.
Cigarettes and Bad Decisions. Koffe Black. JD's Revenge. Studio session. We out.
Ow.